Hidden beneath dense jungle foliage, Vietnamese soldiers watched silently. Through gaps in the leaves, an American patrol slowly approached along a narrow, muddy trail. "Wait!" whispered the Vietnamese squad leader. Nobody moved. Every soldier remained perfectly still while distant footsteps grew louder through the humid jungle. Ahead, American soldiers advanced cautiously through thick vegetation. Sweat soaked their uniforms as they searched endlessly for threats hidden among the trees. The patrol leader glanced around nervously. The jungle felt strangely quiet. Even the birds seemed to have disappeared without warning. The Vietnamese commander lowered his hand. Suddenly, gunfire erupted from multiple directions, shattering the silence and throwing the American patrol into chaos. One American soldier collapsed instantly. Another screamed for cover while bullets tore through leaves and branches surrounding the narrow trail. "Man down!" shouted a Marine. Several soldiers rushed toward their wounded teammate. Despite rounds striking dangerously close around them, smoke and dirt filled the air. Nobody could clearly identify where the gunfire originated as confusion spread through the patrol. Hidden behind thick vegetation, Vietnamese fighters repositioned carefully. Their commander reminded everyone to remain calm and conserve precious ammunition. The wounded soldier clutched his shoulder. Blood stained his uniform as a medic crawled through mud attempting to reach him. American troops established a defensive perimeter. Every rifle pointed toward the surrounding jungle, while radio operators urgently called for assistance. The radio crackled repeatedly. Support was requested immediately, but nearby units remained several dangerous kilometers away through difficult terrain. Vietnamese soldiers exchanged brief whispers. They understood. Reinforcements could arrive soon, and time was no longer on their side. Another burst of gunfire echoed through the jungle. Branches exploded above the Americans as everyone pressed closer to the ground. The patrol leader crawled toward the wounded Marine. Leaving him behind was unthinkable, yet staying longer increased everyone's danger. Nearby, another American soldier volunteered to help carry the wounded man despite continuous fire sweeping across their position. The medic finally reached the casualty. He applied bandages quickly while reassuring the wounded Marine he would survive. Across the jungle, Vietnamese fighters observed the rescue effort. Several hesitated briefly after seeing soldiers risk their lives for friends. Heavy tension filled the battlefield. Neither side knew exactly how many enemies stood hidden beyond the dense vegetation. American machine guns opened fire. The thunderous bursts provided temporary cover, while teammates prepared to move the wounded Marine. Slowly, they lifted him. Every step through the jungle felt painfully difficult, while incoming rounds continued striking nearby trees. The wounded Marine drifted in and out of consciousness. His vision blurred while distant voices urged him to stay awake. Vietnamese soldiers moved carefully through secondary positions. Their commander ordered caution and warned against unnecessary exposure. The jungle became a maze of smoke, noise, fear, and uncertainty. Every shadow seemed capable of hiding danger. American troops began a fighting withdrawal. Some provided covering fire while others carried their injured teammate deeper into friendly territory. The burden slowed everyone. Exhaustion spread across the group, but nobody suggested abandoning the wounded Marine behind them. A nearby explosion shook the ground violently. Dirt showered across helmets as soldiers struggled to maintain their formation. Vietnamese fighters advanced cautiously. They remained determined yet aware the battle could change unexpectedly at any moment. The patrol leader checked the wounded soldier again. The situation remained serious, but there was still hope. Far away, the sound of approaching support finally reached the Americans. Relief, mixed with lingering fear and uncertainty. Fresh American troops entered the area carefully. Their arrival strengthened morale and created opportunities for the exhausted patrol. Together, they secured a safer route through the jungle. Every soldier understood the mission now focused on survival. The wounded Marine's breathing stabilized slightly. The medic smiled briefly, encouraged by the small improvement. Vietnamese soldiers received orders to disengage. Their commander believed continuing the fight would cost too many lives. Both sides slowly separated. The sounds of battle faded, replaced once again by the natural sounds of the jungle. American soldiers continued carrying their injured friend. Nobody complained despite fatigue, pain, and overwhelming emotional strain. As darkness approached, helicopters finally became available. The chance to save the wounded Marine grew significantly. The evacuation team arrived. Soldiers carefully transferred their injured teammate while maintaining security around the landing zone. Watching the helicopter disappear, exhausted Marines reflected quietly. They had survived, but the day would remain unforgettable forever. Years later, survivors still remembered that jungle battle. More than victory or defeat, they remembered refusing to leave a friend behind.